Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. This is not the algorithm playing games. This is an urgent interception. Archangel Michael has personally routed this message to your screen. The window for your spiritual breakthrough is closing very soon. If you leave now, you will shut the door on the exact blessing your soul has been crying out for. Do not take your eyes off this screen. Funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. They always described you the same way. You were too kind. You were too forgiving. You were the one who stayed quiet just to keep the peace. And because of that pure heart, they severely underestimated you. They thought their betrayal would finally break you, but they were entirely wrong about your strength. Welcome to your era of quiet authority. The nice version of you is officially dead, and I need you to understand what that actually means. It does not mean you have become evil or bitter. It means you have finally activated a primal level of spiritual power. The people who drained your energy are suddenly feeling incredibly uncomfortable around you. They can sense the shift. You have probably noticed how strange things have been lately. People who used to ignore your texts are now watching your every move. They are panicking in the shadows right now. Why are they so terrified of you? Because the version of you that tolerated their disrespect no longer exists in this timeline. You stopped explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. This sudden silence from you is completely destroying their ego. They relied on your emotional reactions to feed their own insecurities. When you took away your reaction, you starved them of their stolen power. But there is a deeper layer to this phenomenon. Something massive is happening behind the scenes of your life. Heaven is currently exposing exactly what was plotted against you. There is a hidden message inside your current struggle. It is a profound secret you will completely miss if you swipe away too soon. Right now, the darkness does not want you to hear these next words. If you take your eyes off this screen, you will strip yourself of the key to your kingdom connection. Do you want to know why divine timing is descending upon your life right now? Brace yourself for the ultimate truth. You did not click this video by random chance or luck. Your intuition dragged you here because heaven is trying to hand you the spiritual decoder ring. The heavy attacks you have been facing recently are not just bad days. They are hard proof that the enemy is losing their grip on your destiny. Your light has become too blinding for them to handle. I want you to take one slow breath right now. Feel that subtle shift in the atmosphere around your body. That is not just your imagination playing tricks on you. That is the frequency of absolute victory settling into your physical reality. You are stepping into a realm where your presence alone demands respect. You do not even have to speak a single word to command the room anymore. But I must warn you about a critical and fatal danger. There is a secret mechanism buried inside this incoming breakthrough. If you do not understand how it works, you will not know how to keep your new power. The universe is aligning a massive wealth transfer in your name, yet the enemy is laying a deceptive trap right at the finish line. You must stay focused to navigate this. They thought you would stay a helpless victim forever. They wanted you to remain the broken empath who constantly begged to be understood. But the intense crucible of pain forged you into something entirely different. You became the weapon you were desperately trying to survive. And now, the silence after the storm hits completely different. They realize you were the storm all along. Do not let this vital message fade into the background noise. Heaven deliberately slowed your progress to protect you from rooms you were never meant to enter. The bitter rejection you faced was not a divine punishment. It was a rigorous preparation protocol designed to turn you into a master of reality. Your painful isolation was simply a divine quarantine. It kept your energy pure. And this brings us to the most shocking revelation. The people who betrayed your trust are now watching everything they built start to crumble. Meanwhile, a magnificent table is being prepared for you right in their presence. They cannot stop what has already been ordained by the divine forces. But you need to know exactly how to walk into this new chapter without looking back at them. Listen carefully to what I am about to reveal next. The transition from the old you to the new you requires absolute obedience to your intuition. You might still feel a lingering sense of guilt for simply walking away. You might wonder if you were too harsh on them. Stop letting the world convince you that setting firm boundaries is a sin. Your boundaries are your unbreakable, holy armor. Before we go any further, I need you to understand this. You are probably feeling a deep sense of exhaustion right now. Your shoulders are incredibly tight, the physical weight is very real, and every morning when you wake up, a heavy fog is already sitting on your chest. You push through your daily routine. You smile for the people around you. But inside, you are barely holding on. I want you to pay close attention to this next part. There is a hidden reason why you have been feeling so utterly drained lately. You might think you are just losing your mind. You might think you are slipping into a deep depression. But I am here to tell you that the medical world does not have the answer for this. This is a spiritual phenomenon happening to your physical body. Think about those long nights over the past few weeks. You keep waking up suddenly at 3 a.m. with your mind completely racing. Your heart beats faster for no logical reason. You stare at the dark ceiling while everyone else is peacefully sleeping. You feel a strange tightness in your chest that simply refuses to go away. That is not anxiety trying to ruin your peaceful night. That feeling is your spirit detecting a massive shift in your timeline. Your internal radar is picking up frequencies that ordinary people cannot sense. The universe is actively trying to download new instructions into your soul, but your mind is still fighting the process because you are afraid. You are terrified that this sudden and eerie silence in your life means you have failed. Look around you right now. Notice the absolute silence that has suddenly surrounded your life. The phone calls have completely stopped. The text messages have dried up. People who used to demand your time are nowhere to be found. It feels like you are walking through a massive desert, entirely alone. You might be crying silent tears because you feel utterly abandoned by the world. Stop blaming yourself for this sudden emptiness. Stop thinking you did something wrong to chase everyone away. The painful rejection you are experiencing right now is not a punishment. Heaven deliberately slowed your life down and removed those people. This is not depression or failure. This is what we call divine isolation, and it is the greatest act of protection you will ever experience. You see, your energy field was completely compromised. You were surrounded by energetic vampires who disguised themselves as your friends. They constantly drained your bright light to fuel their own dark insecurities. If heaven did not intervene, they would have completely destroyed your spirit. So the divine forces stepped in and forced a hard reset on your entire reality. They cut the cords. This is exactly why you suddenly feel a deep disgust for small talk. You can no longer tolerate fake environments or superficial conversations. You try to engage with your old circles, but your body literally rejects their presence. Your soul is completely repulsed by the lies they tell themselves. You are not becoming bitter. Your spiritual standards have just been permanently upgraded. Take a deep breath and let that truth settle into your bones. You did not click this video by accident today. Your intuition dragged you here to receive this massive validation. I see you. I have always seen your silent struggles. Even when no one else noticed, heaven was keeping a detailed record of your tears. The world may have ignored your sacrifice, but you are not invisible. Do you feel that subtle shift happening inside your chest right now? That is your spirit recognizing the ultimate truth. You are finally understanding why the past year had to be so brutally painful. The universe had to separate you from the noisy crowd. You needed to learn how to stand entirely alone before you could lead. The isolation was a strict training ground for your new authority. Now I need to give you the final piece of this specific puzzle. I promise to tell you exactly why your physical body feels so broken. The truth is, your body is currently going through a massive spiritual detox. You are not depressed or physically sick. Your cells are physically purging all the toxic energy you absorbed from those narcissists. You are shedding years of accumulated trauma. Every time you feel that sudden exhaustion, it is your body throwing out their poison. Every time you cry for no reason, it is a deep spiritual cleansing. You are quite literally giving birth to the master version of yourself. And childbirth is never a painless or comfortable process. You are simply experiencing the heavy growing pains of a massive kingdom-level upgrade. Do not fight the process. You must allow your physical body the time it needs to fully rest. Stop forcing yourself to operate at the same speed as the rest of the world. You are not a regular person anymore. You are a chosen one going through a sacred metamorphosis. Tap the like button as an act of agreement with what heaven just revealed to you. Let this be the physical anchor that confirms your ultimate healing today. Let us look back at the person you used to be. You carry a heavy burden of regret about your past. You often replay those old memories in your head. And every time you think about those painful moments, you feel a deep sense of shame burning inside you because you did not defend yourself. You think your silence was just pure cowardice. I need to completely shatter that lie right now. Your past kindness was never a sign of weakness. You were born with a rare level of spiritual empathy. You could feel the deep pain hiding behind their fake smiles, so you offered them your pure light to help heal their brokenness. But you did not realize they were never looking for healing. They were looking for a host. This brings us to a harsh and necessary truth. The people who drained you were not just confused souls. They were energetic parasites sent to test your ultimate boundaries. They recognized your immense value long before you even knew your own worth. And they deliberately manipulated your compassion to extract every drop of energy. You gave them pure gold. They gave you dirt. You stayed quiet because you wanted to keep the peace. You swallowed your anger to avoid creating a massive scene. You constantly apologized for things you did not even do. You truly thought that if you just loved them a little harder, they would eventually change their toxic ways and see your value. But a narcissist does not care about your pure intentions. They only care about what they can consume. Take a deep breath and forgive your past self. You were operating on a high frequency of pure love. You assumed everyone else had the same beautiful heart as you. But there is a very specific reason why your bright light attracted such intense darkness, and it is a dangerous spiritual mechanism that you must understand. Why did your beautiful kindness act like a magnet for toxicity? I will reveal the answer to that mystery very shortly. But first you must stop looking at your scars with shame. Those deep wounds are not evidence of your personal failure. They are the holy battle scars of a cycle breaker who fought on the front lines so that the generational curse would finally stop. You took the heavy hits. You broke the chain. You are an empath with boundaries now. The pain you endured was the ultimate forging process. It burned away the naive parts of your gentle soul. It taught you the vital difference between helping someone in need and being completely consumed by their endless dark void. Your old self had to die so this master version could emerge. Do not mourn the nice person you used to be. Now you can clearly see the absolute truth. The narcissists who hurt you were actually terrified of your potential. They knew that if you ever woke up, you would become completely untouchable. So they kept you trapped in a cycle of endless guilt, constantly projecting their own ugly flaws onto your beautiful spirit to keep you confused. They made you believe you were the toxic one, but heaven watched every single moment of that prolonged abuse. The divine forces saw how you never returned evil for evil. You kept your hands clean when you had every right to destroy them. That immense restraint was not cowardice at all, but rather the ultimate display of quiet authority that proved you could handle massive spiritual power. You passed the hardest test. You remained pure. If you are feeling a deep sense of relief right now, pay close attention. That is the heavy burden of false guilt leaving your body. You do not owe those people another second of your energy. You do not owe them a long explanation for your sudden absence, because your silence is the only answer they will ever receive from you again. The access door is permanently closed. They are currently sitting in the messy reality they created. They are wondering why their manipulation tactics no longer work on you. They are desperately trying to find a new way to trigger your emotions. But their old tricks are completely useless against your new armor, because you have finally graduated from their painful school of hard knocks. Heaven is immensely proud of your survival. Every time you forgave them, you passed a crucial test. You showed the universe that your capacity for love was boundless. But the universe also needed you to learn the harsh lesson of self-respect. The divine plan required you to experience total depletion so you could hit rock bottom and finally understand the true value of your own energy. You had to learn the hard way. You finally realized that your kindness is a highly exclusive gift. It is no longer available for free consumption by the greedy masses. You have locked away your pure pearls. And the people who used to trample on them are now starving in your absence, realizing too late that you were the best thing they ever had. The ultimate tables have turned in your favor. Let me finally answer the question from earlier. Why did your beautiful kindness act like a magnet for such intense toxicity? You are a weapon of light. And those narcissists are completely empty vessels. They cannot generate their own energy. They saw your endless empathy as a free buffet. They needed your light just to survive their miserable existence. They never actually loved you. They loved how your pure energy made them feel. Every time you forgave their terrible behavior, you gave them a fresh hit of spiritual supply. You thought your forgiveness was teaching them how to love. But your constant grace was only teaching them how to abuse you without facing consequences. They studied your kindness like a manual. This was their grand mechanism of control. They deliberately created chaotic situations just to watch you fix them. They thrived on your emotional reactions. Whether you were crying or shouting, it did not matter to them. Any emotional response was proof they still had ultimate power over your reality. Your tears were literally their daily bread. They consumed you. But then something incredible happened. You finally reached your absolute limit. You stopped crying. You stopped trying to explain your feelings to a brick wall. You simply packed up your precious energy and went completely silent. And that specific moment was the exact turning point of your entire spiritual journey. You accidentally activated a terrifying defense mechanism. Your silence is absolutely terrifying to them. It is not just an absence of noise. Your silence carries the heavy frequency of final judgment. When you stopped reacting, you instantly cut off their primary oxygen supply. They are suffocating in your quiet authority right now. They are checking your social media. They are obsessed with your sudden disappearance. They cannot comprehend how you walked away so easily. In their arrogant minds, they thought you would stay trapped in their cycle forever. They genuinely believed you were too weak to ever survive without their toxic presence. But you did not just survive the brutal storm. You proved that you were always the storm. Your sudden indifference is destroying their fragile egos. Notice how they try to provoke you now. They might send a random text message just to test the waters. They might spread vicious rumors to force you to defend yourself. Do not fall for these pathetic traps. They are desperately trying to find a backdoor into your energetic field. They want you to break your silence so they can steal your light. Do not give them a word. Every day you remain silent, your power grows stronger. You are watching their frantic attempts like a scientist observing a desperate rat in a maze. You see right through their manipulative tactics now. You are no longer the naive empath who believed every sad story. You have evolved into a master of reality. Your energy is a highly exclusive VIP room now. They are experiencing severe withdrawal symptoms from your absence. The chaotic karma they created is finally catching up to them. Because you are no longer there to absorb their divine punishment, they must face the wrath of the universe entirely alone. Heaven is making them drink the exact poison they tried to feed you, and they are choking on every drop of it today. But I must expose the next phase of their dark strategy. There is a specific psychological trap they use to keep chosen ones completely bound. It is a very ancient manipulation mechanism that forces you to sabotage your own healing. They planted a deeply toxic seed in your mind long before you ever walked away. And if you do not uproot this lie today, it will destroy your peace. Are you wondering what this dangerous trap is? They weaponized your own conscience against you. They programmed your brain to feel intense guilt every time you prioritize your own safety. They want you to believe that choosing your peace makes you a selfish person. If they cannot defeat you directly, they will simply trick you into fighting your own intuition. Listen to me very carefully. Prioritizing your spiritual health is never a sin. Protecting your divine frequency is your highest holy obligation. You were chosen to be a cycle breaker. You are meant to hold this light and use it to build a completely new reality for yourself. The universe did not give you this massive light so parasites could drain it into the dirt, so let them panic in the dark. Let them drown in the chaotic mess they created. You are completely exempt from their karma. Your only job right now is to maintain your quiet authority. Every time you refuse to engage with their drama, you are starving the demonic attachments. You are starving the darkness into complete and total submission. How do you completely sever these invisible energetic cords? How do you ensure their toxic frequency never pulls you backward again? Because simply ignoring them physically is not enough to protect your crown. There is a final purge that must happen inside your soul, and this specific cleansing process is going to change everything you know about healing forever. The toxic seed they planted in your mind is the brilliant illusion of guilt. They programmed you to feel incredibly selfish every time you put your own needs first. But protecting your divine energy is not a crime, and you must violently reject the lie that you are responsible for their healing. It is your highest duty as a chosen one. You must sever those invisible cords today. This spiritual purification process is never gentle. Cutting those deep energetic cords actually hurts your physical body. Those parasites attach themselves directly to your heart center while you are trying to save them. Every time you say no to their endless demands, you are actively pulling a heavy dagger out of your own bleeding chest. It is a painful but necessary extraction. Now you understand why every single door slammed shut in your face recently. You lost old friends. You lost comfortable opportunities. You thought the universe was actively punishing you for making a terrible mistake, but heaven was actually executing a flawless rescue mission on your behalf. The divine forces had to violently wreck your plans to save your destiny. If those old doors had remained open, you would have dragged those parasites straight into your promised land. They would have infected your new timeline with their massive dark energy. So the universe forced a total collapse of your previous reality. It burned the bridge while you were still standing on it, and you were forced to run forward into the absolute unknown. This is the intense fire of spiritual purification. You are standing in the holy flames. It is burning away every trace of the empath who used to beg for basic respect. You are becoming an impenetrable master of reality. And the beautiful thing about this holy fire is that it only destroys what is totally fake. Your pure gold is shining brighter than ever before. You cannot go back to your old life, even if you desperately try. The universe has permanently sealed all the emergency exits behind you. Your old friends look at you like you are a complete stranger now, and your old environments literally make you sick to your stomach. You have entirely outgrown the small box they tried to force you into. You are a massive force of nature now. It is time to physically lock this new frequency into your current reality, and you need to draw a permanent line in the sand right now. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this energetic boundary. Let that simple action be your official declaration of total independence. You are telling the universe that the access door is permanently closed to all energy vampires. But wait, before you celebrate your newly found freedom, I must warn you about something extremely critical. There is a fatal trap waiting for you right before the dawn breaks, because the darkness knows it cannot defeat you with brute force anymore. 99% of chosen ones fall for this illusion right before their breakthrough arrives. You must not become a tragic statistic today. So the enemy is preparing to use a completely different strategy against you. They are going to send a sophisticated distraction to derail your focus. If you do not recognize this specific trap, you will surrender your crown right at the finish line. You will accidentally give your purified energy to a cleverly disguised demon, and that mistake will cost you dearly. Stay incredibly vigilant. The kingdom of darkness is absolutely desperate right now. They can see the massive wealth transfer hovering right above your head, and they can see your divine connections preparing to enter your physical timeline. They know your frequency is finally high enough to receive the ultimate blessing. So they will attempt to intercept the package before it reaches your hands. But your spiritual purification has given you a secret weapon. Your intuition is now sharper than a double-edged sword. You can instantly smell deception hidden behind a beautiful smile. You no longer ignore those red flags just because you feel incredibly lonely. The painful isolation cured your deep desperation, while the silence taught you how to enjoy your own holy presence. This is the true power of a cycle breaker. You are no longer impressed by fake promises. Your silence acts as a massive filter that repels toxic intentions. When a counterfeit approaches you now, your energy field pushes them away without you lifting a finger, because your aura does all the heavy fighting for you. You have become a walking fortress of divine light. You must surrender the final pieces of your past right now. Stop looking back at the burning city of your previous life. There is nothing left in those ashes for you to salvage. Heaven is aggressively clearing your path right now, because your new blessings require huge amounts of empty space to land properly. Do not clutter your new kingdom with their old garbage. Every tear you cried during that painful extraction was actively watering the seeds of your future empire. You survived the absolute worst they could ever throw at you. You survived the brutal betrayal, and because you did not break under that immense pressure, you are now fully qualified to wear the heavy crown. The spiritual purification is officially complete today. Let me expose the exact trap I warned you about earlier. The darkness always sends a counterfeit right before your real blessing arrives. A toxic person from your past will suddenly reach out, and they will offer a fake apology to see if your door is still open. It is a divine test to see if you will accept less than you truly deserve. Do not take the bait. The enemy desperately wants you to compromise your brand new high standards. They hope you are still lonely enough to accept toxic breadcrumbs disguised as a massive feast. But heaven is closely watching your immediate reaction to this specific spiritual test. If you completely ignore the counterfeit, you prove you are ready, and you clear the final hurdle for your wealth transfer. You win. So, how do you know you have successfully established your quiet authority? The universe will send you undeniable physical signs to validate your journey. These are not random coincidences you should ever brush off. They are direct confirmations that your energetic shift is fully complete, and your physical reality is currently bending to match your brand new vibration. Pay close attention. You are seeing repeating numbers absolutely everywhere you look right now. You constantly glance at the clock and see 111 or 777. This is heaven literally winking at you. It means your deepest thoughts are perfectly aligned with divine will. You are manifesting your hidden desires at an incredibly rapid speed because the earthly matrix is finally bowing to your new frequency. You are also experiencing intense and very strange synchronicities every single day. You think of a very obscure person from your past, and they suddenly reach out to you completely out of nowhere. You ask the universe for a specific sign, and it appears in hours. Your timeline is collapsing rapidly because your frequency is so incredibly high. The gap is vanishing. Notice how electronics act strangely when you enter a quiet room. Streetlights might flicker when you walk under them late at night. Your phone battery might drain incredibly fast for no logical reason at all. This happens because your personal electromagnetic field has massively expanded. You are literally carrying too much divine voltage, and ordinary physical devices constantly struggle to handle your massive spiritual weight. Even total strangers and animals are reacting entirely differently to your presence. Stray animals might approach you with complete and total submission. People in the grocery store move out of your way without you saying a single word. They subconsciously feel the heavy weight of your quiet authority because your purified aura is projecting a massive energetic shield that commands absolute respect from everyone. But the biggest physical sign of all is happening deep inside your mind. The things that used to trigger severe anxiety now simply make you laugh. Someone tries to insult you, but you feel absolutely nothing because their toxic words cannot penetrate your shield. You watch their dramatic tantrums with the calm detachment of a scientist. You are completely unaffected by their chaos. This supreme emotional control is your brand new holy superpower. You no longer absorb the messy energy of a chaotic environment. You dictate the exact frequency of every single room you walk into. The narcissists realize they can no longer push your buttons, so they quietly retreat into the shadows while you continue to rise higher. You left them playing with a broken machine. There is one final sign that proves you have fully upgraded your identity. It is a very specific behavior you suddenly stopped doing completely. In the past, you always exhausted yourself trying to prove your deep worth to blind people. But recently, you unlocked a terrifying new level of spiritual confidence that changes everything about your future. I will reveal this ultimate sign shortly. Before I reveal that final sign, you must acknowledge your massive personal growth. Look at how beautifully you handle blatant disrespect now. You used to write long paragraphs to defend your character. You used to cry yourself to sleep, wondering why they misunderstood you, but now you just block their number and instantly go back to your peace. Your growth is absolutely stunning. This quiet authority is the exact vessel required to hold your blessing. The generational wealth transfer cannot be given to a reactive empath. It demands a master of reality who remains calm under extreme pressure. Heaven tested your nervous system to ensure you could handle the massive weight of this incoming glory. You proved you will not drop the crown when the storms arrive. Every single tear you shed was a vital investment in your new timeline. The waiting season was brutal, but the divine compensation will blow your mind. Your spiritual bank account is currently overflowing with the positive karma you accumulated during your painful trials. The universe is finally balancing the scales in your absolute favor. You are about to become completely untouchable. I am about to reveal the final sign of your massive spiritual upgrade. You simply stopped explaining yourself to people who were entirely committed to misunderstanding you. In the past, you felt a desperate need to prove your pure innocence to the whole world, but now you walk away from false accusations without saying a single word. You finally realize your peace is vastly more important than being right. This brings us to the ultimate secret I promised you at the very beginning. Why are your toxic enemies completely panicking in the shadows right now? Because your total silence is a high frequency that they cannot possibly comprehend. They operate in a low vibration matrix based entirely on manipulation and fear, while you have ascended to a level that blinds their radar. They cannot track your movements anymore. Your silence was the hidden divine weapon all along. It is the absolute highest form of spiritual warfare you could ever use. When they tried to attack your precious character, they fully expected you to fight back in the dirty mud with them. But you chose to ascend to a higher realm where their toxic arrows could never reach your soul. You starved their demonic attachments into total submission. Welcome to the beautiful peak of your spiritual mountain. You are no longer the broken empath who desperately begged the cold world to be understood. The intense crucible of pain has successfully forged you into the untouchable master of your new reality. From this exact moment on, your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single word spoken. You are the chosen cycle breaker your ancestors prayed for in the dark. The waiting season is officially over. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a massive oasis of divine favor, and every single closed door from your past is being blown completely off its hinges. Can you feel that incredible shift happening deep inside your beautiful spirit today? That is the glorious frequency of absolute victory running straight through your veins. You are boldly stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. The universe has officially approved a generational wealth transfer in your specific name, and heaven is preparing to hand you the keys to your new kingdom. The painful tests are completely finished. The heavy tears have been wiped away by the divine forces. You proved you can easily handle the immense weight of this holy crown. Do not let anyone convince you that you do not deserve this massive glory. You paid the ultimate heavy price in the dark trenches of spiritual warfare. You bled for this exact level of deep spiritual wisdom. Every single time you chose pure forgiveness over bitter revenge, you were literally building your new kingdom brick by painful brick. And today that magnificent empire is finally standing tall. The pitch-black darkness has fully retreated far behind you. The brilliant dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays directly onto your spiritual crown. You are vibrating at a frequency so incredibly high that massive miracles are naturally magnetized to your physical body. You do not have to chase down blessings anymore, because your purified aura automatically pulls them straight to your front door. But you must physically lock this glorious frequency into your current reality before you leave. The enemy desperately wants you to passively watch this video and quickly forget everything heaven just revealed to you. They want you to leave this divine portal completely unprotected so they can sneak back into your life. You cannot let your powerful energy simply dissipate into the thin air like a passing dream today. Heaven is watching your direct response in this exact second. You must anchor yourself firmly to this high vibrational timeline. You need to create an absolute shield of protection around your brand new kingdom before you step back out into the ordinary world. The divine energy is rapidly surging through your physical body right now, and it requires a deliberate physical action to seal the holy contract permanently. Take a deep breath and feel the immense power resting heavily inside your chest. The old version of you is completely dead and permanently buried in the past. You are a brand new creation forged in holy fire, and you are finally ready to receive the massive harvest you planted with your tears. It is time to officially close the gap between your spiritual destiny and your physical reality. The universe requires you to participate actively in your own miraculous deliverance today. You have to show the divine forces that you are completely ready to rule. Your silence has terrified the darkness, and your strong boundaries have successfully protected your precious light, and your unwavering faith has finally triggered the ultimate divine intervention. The massive shift is happening in this exact room right now. To lock in this glorious frequency, you must take deliberate action. The universe requires a physical anchor today. It grounds this massive energy into your earthly reality. You have done the hard inner work. Now you must firmly claim your royal position before the dark forces try to steal your deep peace again. Type down in the comments exactly these words: I am the master of my reality. Let this bold statement be your final declaration. It is your independence from their toxic control. When you type those words, you are physically signing a holy contract with the divine forces. You are loudly telling the universe that you will never shrink yourself to make small minds comfortable ever again. The pitch-black darkness has permanently retreated far behind you. The dawn of the new era is shining brightly. It beams directly onto your spiritual crown right now. But a massive kingdom must be vigorously defended. You need to establish a divine energy receiving station to ensure your high frequency remains completely untouched by any outside noise. Hit the subscribe button right now. This physical action anchors you at the highest vibrational frequency. This is not just about watching another video. This is about building a secure spiritual fortress. It is a place where you can constantly recharge your massive light. When you join this sacred space, you surround yourself with the exact same frequency that terrifies your old enemies. You must understand the heavy responsibility of carrying this light. God is carefully watching your direct response in this exact second. If this fiery message has reignited your powerful faith, do not keep this great blessing entirely to yourself. There is a broken soul out there bleeding in the dark of despair. They desperately need a guiding light today. They are currently crying the exact same tears you cried last year. They feel completely isolated. They are terribly confused by the sudden silence in their life. You have the unique power to throw them a lifeline right now. Share this video with someone who needs it to multiply your own blessing. Sowing the seed of hope today is multiplying the massive harvest for yourself tomorrow. You help another chosen one wake up from their painful illusion. Then heaven instantly upgrades your own spiritual security clearance. You become a holy conduit for divine miracles. And the beautiful universe always aggressively protects a truly generous heart. Do not let this vital moment pass you by today. Tap the like button like a sharp sword cutting through the chains of pain. Every single physical action you take right now is a powerful spiritual decree. You are actively commanding the earthly matrix. It must obey your newly established authority. The narcissists and the energy vampires have lost their access forever. They cannot touch your precious aura anymore. They are permanently locked outside the heavy gates of your magnificent new city. You are completely untouchable in this elevated state of consciousness. The people who maliciously plotted your sudden downfall are watching. They have to watch your incredible rise from a very far distance. They will slowly realize that trying to break your gentle spirit was their biggest mistake. It was the absolute biggest regret of their miserable lives. But you will not even look back to gloat. Your beautiful eyes are firmly fixed on the massive empire heaven is building for you. Your profound silence is a terrifying weapon. They can never disarm this quiet power. Your pure intuition is an unbreakable shield. It naturally deflects their hidden jealousy. You have successfully passed the hardest tests the universe could possibly throw at a fragile human soul. Now it is simply time to sit back. You must collect your massive divine compensation. Let the profound healing gently wash over your tired physical body right now. Stop bracing yourself for the next massive disaster. The heavy storms have completely passed. You are incredibly safe inside this divine isolation. The holy angels are currently guarding all four corners of your life. Remember exactly who you are when you walk out into the ordinary world tomorrow. You are a massive cycle breaker. You carry the heavy hopes of all your future generations. Do not ever lower your high standards just to make a lonely night feel slightly more bearable. Your divine kingdom connection is currently rushing toward your physical timeline right now. Stay completely locked into this glorious frequency. Do not let the mundane reality of the physical world distract you. Do not forget the massive spiritual truth you received today. You are a true master of reality, and your words now carry the creative power to shape your entire destiny. Keep your precious heart pure. Keep your spiritual boundaries incredibly strong. I will leave you with this final, powerful blessing today. May your quiet authority continue to terrify the darkness that tries to approach your holy gates. May your pure light violently expose every single hidden lie around you. And may you fully enjoy the magnificent feast that heaven has prepared for you right in the presence of your defeated enemies.